Happy birthday, Mr. Putin. Ukraine's gift to the dictator. Long-range strikes. A birthday present for Vladimir Putin, Ukrainian style. Deep strike drone operations timed exactly to his birthday. We'll unpack the symbolism of this move, the military mechanics behind it, and what it suggests about escalation, deterrence, Kremlin overreach, and Ukrainian strength. The Kyiv Post headline is vivid. On Putin's birthday, Ukraine launched a 209 drone assault deep into Russia. This birthday present had teeth and quite a bit of bite. Overnight, Ukraine launched 209 drones targeting deep into Russian territory, according to the Kyiv Post. And that article is dated today, 7th of October. The strike allegedly reached Tyumen, over 2,000 kilometers from the border. The target, an oil refinery, the Antipinsky facility in Tyumen. Moscow claimed it intercepted 184 drones overnight. Others said those numbers may be inflated. Local telegram channels in Tyumen reported explosions, fire trucks, and a major emergency response. However, some media, especially that controlled by the Russian authorities, contended that they shot down all the drones, that no fires occurred, and that no facilities were damaged. That's reported in the Kyiv Independent. Other observers caution that Russian claims about zero damage may be strategic denial, and of course, verification of these facts one way or the other is very hard in these remote zones so far away from the border. That, I think, is the significant thing here. 2,000 miles is a new record. It's an extraordinary distance from the front lines in Ukraine. The Kyiv Post article framing is clear. This is Ukraine sending a message, not just militarily, but an extraordinary gesture of Ukrainian defiance, targeting Putin and his regime on his birthday. Spot Media frames the Tyumen attack as a gift and claims it set a new world record for this type of long-distance strike, 2,100 kilometers, that is 1,300 miles from the front line in Ukraine. Russia's defense ministry claimed it intercepted 184 Ukrainian drones overnight. Officials from Tyumen Oblast claimed 3 drones were shot down over an industrial facility in the city. Local telegram channels said the intended target may have been the Antipinsky oil refinery. That's in the Kyiv Independent. The Ukrainian military said that its long-range drones hit a major Russian ammunition plant, a key oil terminal, and weapons depot far, far behind the front line. Russia said it intercepted 251 drones across 4 regions in the same night. That's published in military.com. And we must recall at this point Operation Spiderweb, because this set the benchmark for ambition, complexity, and distance of such operations. In June 2025, a coordinated drone attack on multiple Russian air bases deep inside Russia occurred, and Ukraine struck with 117 drones across 5 oblasts, hitting strategic bombers and command assets. Well, you can read more about that on Wikipedia, the entry titled Operation Spiderweb. That operation demonstrated Ukraine's capability to stage deep penetrations, conceal drone launching inside Russia, and target high-value military assets. It may well be that we see an increasing number of such operations through the winter that push the boundaries of what is considered feasible and possible. Analysts have noted an accelerating trend along this path, Ukraine shifting from reactive defense to offensive deep strike posture. Various war reports and Ukrainian General Staff statements seem to support that idea. The Moscow Times reported that Russia's resort region in Sochi has seen increased drone alerts, previously rare in non-border areas of the Russian Federation. That's according to the Moscow Times. Thus, the Tyumen birthday raid is part of a broader pattern, pushing boundaries, testing Russian defenses, stretching Moscow's sense of what can be classed as a safe space. The attack is a symbolic gambit and, of course, a psychological shock. Russia frames its territory as sacrosanct. A strike deep inside, timed to the dictator Putin's birthday, undermines that narrative of an inviolable rear, an enemy that cannot be defeated. It says, your regime is vulnerable, your assets can be struck. It's both a taunt and a proof reminding Russia that key assets, energy, oil refining assets, etc., logistics are within reach, not just frontline military targets. It amplifies Ukrainian resolve, not just defending but daring to go on the attack. And also it provides significant strategic signaling to the West. It says, support this ambition. Ukraine wants deeper strike weapons, longer range missiles, drone swarms, and these kind of attacks tell us that Ukraine can use this equipment to very great strategic effect. There are, however, considerations of resource and allocation. These operations do not come without risk. Deep strike drone operations require extensive logistical planning and lead time, stealth support and secrecy, complex command coordination. Overuse might deplete reserves or risk exposure of plans. If such operations fail or produce limited damage, they may erode credibility and burn the limited resources that Ukraine has to no effect. Well, the birthday raid is more than a tactical strike. It's a strategic message, a probe, a test, and a gesture imbued with mockery, that extraordinary Ukrainian sense of humour. It reflects Ukraine's transition from survival to daring. Well, here's what to monitor next. Independent verification of damage in Tyumen itself, satellite imagery, third-party sources, Russian local reporting on the ground, including local telegram channels, Russian retaliation patterns, missile strikes, cross-border operations, escalation in hybrid attacks, including inside Europe. And we have to watch the trajectory of Ukraine's long-range capability, getting missiles and drones with deeper reach, sustainable production of that, including of Ukraine's own indigenous munitions, and resilience in logistics. And finally, Western responses. Will the US and the UK supply Ukraine with more munitions, including US Tomahawks or similar long-range systems? Russia has cautioned strongly. Putin says that the supply of Tomahawks would destroy US-Russian relations. That's according to Reuters. But how many times have we heard this before? We heard it with Abrams tanks. We heard it with targeting data. We heard it with every single weapon system that was delayed and then eventually supplied to Ukraine. Well, that's the next key development to watch out for, though. Will Ukraine get Tomahawks on top of the intelligence data, which is now starting to come through, which would make those Tomahawks into an extremely effective weapon, adding to Ukraine's burgeoning arsenal of deep strike weapons capabilities.
Бажаємо міцного здоров'я. Ми бійці батальйону безпілотних систем Black Raven 93-ї бригади Холодний Яр виконуємо бойове завдання на Константинівському напрямку в Донецькій області. Для їх успішного виконання наш підрозділ має потребу в пікапах для виїзду особового складу на позиції, евакуації, своєчасного підвозу боєприпасів, дронів та обладнання в район ведення бойових дій. Звертаємося до YouTube-спільноти Silicon Curtain та Джонатана особисто з проханням допомогти підтримати збір, а також до Car for Ukraine та Бандера Мобіль з проханням допомогти з купівлею, підготовкою та доставкою авто на фронт. Слава Україні!
Героям слава!